we're going to show you how we made this painting so you can make your own version at home. Hey guys, Alia here. As you can hear, Leo will not be joining us today, but we are going to be joined by my dad, and we are going to be painting a painting together that he came up with a while ago. This painting is called Generations, and it's about spotting and breaking unhealthy cycles in the family. There are powerful and unhealthy behaviors that start in our ancestors and pass through each generation, from a parent to their child, and from that child to his or her own child. It could be addiction, division between children and their parents, abuse, etc. Eventually, it becomes a family curse, passing from generation to generation. But it is up to you to decide if you're going to stop this cycle by not acting on those things. If your family suffers from anger, for example, don't follow that path and start working on your self-control. And when you have your own family, teach your children that path and how to resist that burst of anger in them and to love instead. So over here we have this picture. I've already gone and drawn some of it, but I'll show you how to do it. First thing we are going to start with is a spiral shape. You can see that here. And coming off the spiral shape on certain points are these little elephant ears. You can also see the eyes and the tusks. Now, take note that all of these things land on certain places and lines. For example, the tusk over here starts on this line, which comes right after the eye and joins up with this line beside it. Then these 2 points join together on this line here. Now to get started, you're going to start with your spiral. Keep in mind that it is off center. Then we're going to start here. And we're just going to make a bunch of lines. Try not to make them too close to each other. Remember that these lines do not go onto the ear. This line is just here as the guideline for the spiral. It will be erased soon. Now, this is the interesting thing. Over here on the first little elephant, you have all your lines. But when you get onto the second row, which forms the next elephant, 2 lines go in between each space on the row before it. See the space here? 2 lines will fit inside it. This pattern continues all throughout the second elephant. So you can just write inside this elephant 2 to remind you how many lines fit in each space. However, for the rest of the elephants, they only have 1 line go into each space, so you can mark that as well. Now we know that there is a placement for the eyes and tusks. Now I will show you where the ears are placed. Okay, here's the baby elephant, and you can see that when we move on to the slightly bigger elephant, there is a single line that sits between where this ear ends and where the next elephant's ear begins. This pattern continues for the rest of them. Now, once you're done with that, we'll be able to add the paint. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over all these lines with this pencil to darken them a bit. The reason I do this is to make sure the lines will stick out and not be hidden by the paint. If you choose to do this, make sure you don't darken your lines so much that you can't erase them. It'll leave your painting looking very messy if you have to erase them to correct anything. Remember, these lines you see in the ears should be erased. Do not darken them or else you'll be stuck with them. So while you draw this out, I'm just going to go in and darken all my lines. Finally, we could get to the painting. To achieve the look that we're going for, you are going to wet your canvas, and then you're going to take watered down paints or watercolors if you have them, and you are going to just drop them on the wet parts, and it's going to spread the colors around and blend them into each other. Of course, you want to be careful with colors like red and green and orange, because when those colors combine, they make browns and muddy colors. Of course, that was a move that I pulled, but luckily I managed to pull it off, and yeah, I think it looks really great. And for things like this, I really recommend working in layers. So put your first layer down and then wait for that layer to dry, and then put more colors on top, because that way you'll be able to build up colors and do any touch-ups if you like what I'm doing here, just doing some touch-ups and making it all look nice, adding any extra splotches of color just to add more texture, make it look really nice. Right here, this area is my absolute favorite part. It's so colorful. So this is after a few coats and mixing around the colors and just playing around with it, fixing up any muddy areas, and I honestly think it looks great, but I'm just going to touch it up a little bit more. For the next part of the painting, we're going to paint over all our lines. The colors we're going to use will be a darker shade than the elephant that you paint on. So for the orange elephant, you're going to use a darker orange. Likewise with the green, it'll be a darker green, the blue a darker blue, and so on. And this is where my cat decided to join me again. Look at this cat, stealing the show. Get your feet off the painting, man. Soon it was time for my favorite part of the painting, splashes. After adding all the splashes, I took these colored pencils and went over all the lines just to neaten them up and bring them out a little bit more, since they were hidden a bit by the splashes. And this part was really satisfying, just seeing all the lines start to come out after being hidden by all those splashes. It was really satisfying to see them stand out. Let this be your sign to grab your children, parents, or siblings and enjoy some quality time together. Challenge yourselves and choose different colors and styles to put this painting into. See how different they come out, or just create one painting together. With that, I hope you all have a blessed day and a blessed rest of your week. Have a good day, everybody. Goodbye.